Matt Chase did a great job on Sunday night explaining Matthew chapter 5, verse 6. When we're talking about pursuing righteousness, we hunger and thirst for righteousness. Happy or blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Matt did a great job of explaining this. When it talks about pursuing, when it talks about hunger and thirsting, it's almost like this idea of hunger and thirsting for a championship, or hunger and thirsting for a goal or something that we're trying to aspire towards. We know that it's something that we want to get to. We know that there's a goal in place, and we have to do whatever we can to get to the goal. We're pursuing that goal. And here's the thing, in our world, we are told to pursue a lot of things. We're told to pursue money. We're told to pursue fame. We're told to pursue a lot of different things that maybe we're not supposed to do. Maybe we're not supposed to pursue those things. Maybe we're just supposed to pursue God. Maybe we're supposed to pursue righteousness because righteousness just means to do the right thing. And what's the right thing? It's to do whatever God's plan is for our life. So maybe when we pursue things, maybe when we try and chase after things, we don't have to chase after what we want, because that gets tiring. That gets hurtful. That can be dissatisfactory. It can be a hard thing for us to chase after our plan. But if we can just follow God's plan for our life, then the Bible says that we will be filled. But we have to hunger and thirst for righteousness. That's how we're filled. And he talks in the story of Luke chapter 15 with the parable of the lost son. The lost son looks at his father and basically says, "I wish you were dead," because he asked him for his inheritance early. He goes off and spends the money on things that he doesn't really even need, and he ends up losing it all. And he gets to a point where he had to feed the pigs. He had to feed the pigs because he lost everything. That's the only way that he can make money. So he went home because he knew that his dad's servants made more than he did. At least they had a home, at least they had food on the table, and he goes home to his father. And his father, who stayed on the right path, unlike the son, welcomed his son home. He knew what it was like to do what's right. He knew what it was like to welcome the son home, even when the son didn't do what's right. And when we hunger and thirst for righteousness, when we hunger and thirst for what's right, we will be filled. And if we'll just understand this verse, to pursue Jesus, to pursue what's right, to hunger and thirst, we know what it's like to be hungry. We know what it's like to be thirsty. And when we finally get that substance, it's so good. It's so nice to finally feel your hunger or feel your thirst. It feels just right. And if we will pursue God in that same manner, if we'll pursue Jesus in that same manner, then I promise you that you'll be filled. And we all have access to the scriptures. We know what it's like. We can figure out what it's like to pursue Jesus. We have the scriptures. We have his word. We have access to his life. And all we have to do is pick up the Bible and read it. And we all have access to it. It's on our phones. Our church has tons. We can give you one if you don't have it. But that's how we do what's right. We focus on the teachings of Jesus and the life of Jesus and figure out what he wanted for our lives, because our plans have to align with God's in order for us to pursue righteousness. You know, this world tells us that we have to chase our dreams or chase our goals or chase something that may be unattainable all by ourselves, and that can be overwhelming. It can be tiring to have to chase after those things over and over and over every single day. But Jesus looks at us and says, hey, if you want to live a happy life, if you want to live a blessed life, just pursue me. It's that easy. You don't have to do things that other people tell you to do. You don't have to follow in the footsteps of someone else. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is follow me and pursue me. When our plans align with God's plans, then we're doing what's right. And Matt said, circumstances don't change God's call for your life. It doesn't matter if things are good or if things are bad. We have to pursue Jesus no matter what. When we want to do what's right, we'll be filled and we'll hunger and we'll thirst after what Jesus wants for our lives. And it's our turn to take the time to pursue Jesus ourselves so that we can show other people what it looks like to pursue him.